Hello there, everybody. Hello, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. You're very welcome. And guess what I've got with me? That's right, it's our friendly Ledyba. This was Iris in our previous brilliant Diamond Ledian solo run, but now, well, we don't know which Ledyba this is going to be yet, do we? We don't know when we're going to find it, what we're going to name it, but does have some news for you. Over to you, Ledyba. Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining tonight. We got Pokemon Silver and Pokemon Crystal ready to go to shiny hunt Ledyba. Me! Hey! It's a 30% encounter on this Route 31 very early on in the game. We already have our gym badge from Violet City against Faulkner. Let's see if it shines see if I shine tonight. The encounters really fly by double hunting, and random encounters so much swifter than the soft resets for the first partner. And we do have Totodile, very exciting indeed. So, let's see how the stream goes. Thank you so much, Ledyba. Can we get some applause for Ledyba there? Well, yeah, said it perfectly. Couldn't improve on that, Ledyba. We will get into the hunting, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Let me know how your Wednesdays have been. What have you been up to? Hello, Mighty, Riley, Rad Dad, Rufus. You're going to have it on podcast mode. That sounds absolutely great. You enjoy it. It's just wonderful to have you here in whichever way, shape, or form. And hello, Merri. Yeah, well, there's a little bit of a hint as to why that might be. Good evening to you, Rani. Good to see you all. Good luck with your work, everybody. And thank you for the applause, Rad Dad. That is far too kind. Thank you for being here. You just finished watching the Chazingdra chats with Ron. True Green 7. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Rich. Yeah, really interesting episode. I hope you all enjoyed that. Pokemon art content creator. Do go and check that out. It's on the channel right now. Has a really interesting perspective on things. Thank you very much for your kind words, Rich. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That being said, let me know how your days are going. As I say, everybody, let's see just how many encounters it takes to get this Ledyba. Let's get into it. Right, I will get Spotify going. There we go. Sorry, my computer was just glitching out a little bit there. But we are back. We are so back. Day's been good until after work. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's happened after work? I hope everything's okay, Ronnie. Yeah, this is going to be so much more chill for me than the Totodile was, because, hey, there's our target on Crystal. I'm going to move my, this is what I did last time when I was double hunting, didn't I? I had my screen down here. Yeah, the resets were so involved in Professor Elm's lab, but now we're just running in grass. So it's much smoother, plainer sailing, I'm very pleased to say. Knowing that there's a cable, there we go, in a reflection on the screen. Let me just move that to one side. So, later on Crystal and on Silver, I realised that with the Dream Team quest, the idea is that you find all the Pokemon on the one save file, and just my Pokemon Silver, and the Silver is in the black Game Boy rather than the Silver one, sort of counterintuitively, which is on the right. But yeah, I just figured we would speed things along. Let's double hunt. We'll see. The Totodile, which I think we are going to stick with the nickname Jubilee that Ash suggested, shone in the Silver rather than in the Gold that I was double hunting it on, which is the Dream Team quest file. And it would be lovely if every single one of them shone on the Silver, but last time I felt a bit silly for going so long without doubling up on the hunt, and I thought, let's just nip that in the bud, let's just sort that now. It's a shame we don't have the bicycle in Pokemon Silver to speed things along even more, but there we go. You'll notice that the levels in Pokemon Crystal are far higher than they are on Silver. That's because I've beaten the game. And I definitely have not in Silver. That's the whole point of the Dream Team quest. We have a Pidgey called Snooker leading because it was the Snooker World Championships last week. Well, I don't really follow Snooker, but it was just in homage of that, in honor of that. Which seems to be like the fastest thing. There are only a few Pidgeys that I encounter that outspeed this one. So, yeah, we'll see if that gets us into any bother. But anyway, here we go. I realised you lost your wallet. Oh, Rani, that's rubbish. I'm really sorry to hear that. That is so frustrating. So where do you think you know where it's got to? Do you think you know where you last had it? Have you been able to, like, cancel your cards? Oh, what a headache, Ronnie. I'm really sorry to hear that. Now, some of you might be wondering, why Ledyba? I just have a soft spot for Ledyba and Ledian. They're pretty feeble Pokemon, and that's partly why, to be honest. Very underrated. I remember running into Ledyba on my copy of Pokemon Silver for the first time. I just thought it was so cool, the whole time of day thing. It only appears in the morning. And so it's stuck with me ever since. And I do like to make it a task to use Pokemon that we don't tend to see being used. Which is why I generally quite like Bugs. It's my second favourite type behind Ice. So yeah. Glad your day's going well, Rich. Working away, you did take a break just before to pick up the new Pokemon Center releases of Black Bolt and White Flare. Ooh, okay, nice. Good for you, Rich. I didn't realise that you collected or played the trading card game. I'm glad you were able to get both, though. So what sort of Pokemon are featured in that? Or is that just too broad a question? I'm very out of touch with the trading card game, as you can probably tell. Riley, you were going to mention how's been doing. Oh, interesting. Yeah, exactly, Riley. However, thank you for bringing that up. Very kind of you. Now, my first ever random shiny when I was younger was Kakuna in this very copy of Pokemon Silver that I've got on the right here. This is my childhood copy. That's where I've got the Totodile. This is why I wanted to do this Dream Team quest. So, phasing on a Kakuna, I would be delighted with, to be honest with you. I think it's only like a 5%, maybe a 10% encounter. I might be wrong on that, but for a first random shiny, relatively rare. We will take that. Look at that. We're already approaching 625 encounters. 1 yard work project down, onto the next one. Rad Dad. Good luck to you, my friend. Is this a project you set yourself? Or is this from a client? You see this Pidgey is not outspeeding. Is it going to be knocked out? It is. Okay, we need to go back and heal. Fortunately, we could get away safely. Hopefully on the bus on your way to work, waiting for the lost and found. Yeah, okay. Otherwise you'll cancel everything. Ugh, Ronnie, how annoying. Well, I hope it turns up, and I hope it can be returned to you easily. Ice type is your favourite as well. Well, as a Sneasel fan, not entirely surprised to hear you say that, Riley. Your favourite type to have in teams is electric. Always feels solid. It's a good point, Riley. Doesn't have many weaknesses. Also doesn't have many things it's particularly strong against to balance it out. But yeah, it resists some key types like steel. And of course electric itself. What else does it resist? That might be it. Fair enough. Yeah, I've just never been the biggest fan of electric type Pokemon designs. Maybe, I don't know, something about them, I don't find them as creative as some other designs. So, you're just starting to collect a little rich in terms of the cards. You're thinking about starting a seal collection, starting with them. Oh wow, as you can say, what's in them? That's fair enough. So, you're not actually going to open these boxes that you've just picked up. They will stay sealed. Signed, sealed, delivered to Rich. Flying for you, Merri. Your favourite type. Yeah. I'm a big fan of flying as well. That might be my 6th favourite. I've got a fairly well-defined top 5, and that is Ice, Bug, Water, Dragon, Normal. Flying might be 6th. Double Ledyba, you love to see it. In fact, why don't we have my Ledyba? Chilling here. We've got Nocturne Phalanx. There we go. Got Nocturne Phalanx behind me as well, which is providing a nice platform for my Ledyba. I do think I love the Pokemon Phalanx. I think the plush that they've done of it, it's not the Sitting Cutie, of course, yet, but it's the, what's a doll, I guess? I'm not sure. It's so fun. I've named mine Steps after the 90s British pop group sensation. Any Steps fans, do let me know. Hop-Up is a 5% encounter on this route in Crystal. So to find a shiny, I'd be happy to phase on anything, to be honest. I just think the thrill of finding shinies in Generation 2, you cannot beat it. But obviously Ledyba will be nice. We'll have to see. Oh, my camera's... I thought that the screen was sort of moving. It's because my camera was slipping. Apologies for that. This is your honeydew. Okay. Oh, no. She thinks she wants to... Oh, okay. Fair enough. That's a good way of putting it, though, Rad Dad. I'm sorry to hear that you were laid off, though. Hope you're okay. Hope you're able to find a replacement very swiftly. Is that similar to your weekends, Rich? Yeah. Understandable. Well, there's tons of flying water types in every region. Yeah, true. Electric types are a good way to shore those matchups. Yeah. You're right. Water is, I assume, still the most populous type. And yeah, there are so many... I'm trying to think now. There's a statistic about the type that was the first to reach having been paired up with every single other type, and I think it was water, but I'm sure flying wasn't far behind. Sprite do I prefer for Ledyba, silver or gold crystal? I think, as you say, the gold and crystal sprites are the same for Ledyba. I'm biased here. I'm just going to say the sprite that I knew from my childhood, Pokemon Silver. I think it kind of looks a bit more timid. It's very cute in Crystal. It's cute anyway, but yeah, I think just the nostalgia there. I wonder how many with double hunting. Maybe we'll be able to get up to 1,000 encounters tonight. We'll have to see. Keep them sealed, Rich. Fair enough. Full out of every Unova Pokemon in the set, but you could be wrong. Wow, full out of every Unova Pokemon. That's massive. Very cool. Favorite type of you is Ghost, Rich. What's your favorite? Joey, not now. Tough Weedle. Good for you, Joey. You show 'em. What's your favorite Ghost type Pokemon, Rich? Video games and random projects. Exhausting. Yep. The weekend of a gamer. Popping in for the Steps mention. That brings back memories. Rufus, good. I'm glad that you remember Steps. I think, did Steps cross over to the US? Did they have some success there? I am intrigued to hear. They might have done, but they just strike me as particularly British. It's 5, 6, 7, 8. Exactly, Ronnie. 5, 6, 7, 8. My rootin' tootin' baby is driving me crazy. My obsession for the Western dance all day. Romeo, Rodeo, better down at the toe, stepping 9, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know all the lyrics, but I was quite pleased with how that came out. Yeah, you've probably heard at least a Step song, unless even if you don't think you have. Tragedy. Do you remember this? Tragedy. I think that's actually a cover of a much older song. I could be wrong, but anyway. Gimme Girl searches, yeah, that's true. Oh my goodness, how is anyone who's been tuning into Lee's Gimme Girl streams? How's that been going for him? Has he been able to find a shiny? I hope so. He asked me on stream last week if I would be hunting it, and no. As I said, I think if it was a shiny I was crazier about, then maybe. Is my camera moving again? I think we're okay. Yeah, I'm not too fussed about the Gimme Girl and Golden Go Shiny. I think it is moving, isn't it? Okay, hopefully that's more secure. Now, some of these sprites in Generation 2, obviously the colours can be quite hard to tell. Like Bellsprout, I don't think that sprite is going to differ much in Generation 2. I've got to have my wits about me. I've got to make sure I'm paying attention for the sparkles. But also I think having the sound on would just be, get a little bit repetitive. It would have saved me in Safari Week last year when I accidentally ran away from a Venonat after more than 50,000 encounters. Yeah, Spayul, even though hearing those sparkles in the wild would just hit different. I could have the volume on quite low, I guess, but yeah, anyway. Oh yeah, hit the like buttons. Good point, Riley. Thank you very much. Please do hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm like at most 10 away from 10 subscribers away from 1,300. My lucky number is 13. So all help towards that goal. Hugely appreciated. Show support of Ledyba. Ladybirds, ladybugs are, I wonder why we've got that distinction between US and UK, calling them ladybirds and ladybugs. Anyway, regarded as lucky animals, so, looks like the luck is with us tonight. Isn't that right? Ladybug behind me. Just happy to be here. I've got my Kakuna sitting cutie behind me as well, some of you might be able to spot, which, again, first random shiny ever was a Kakuna in silver. So I decided that the plushie would be a good mascot. A good shiny hunting mascot. Ugh. Alan, unless you've got a rare item for us. It doesn't look like you have. Well done on knocking out that Growlithe. Good. Cheers, Alan. I was part of Steps and knows the songs too well. Wow! Unconfirmed, Ronnie, as to whether I used to be a member of Steps or not. They released some music quite recently, relatively recently, I think, and not bad. Not bad, gotta say. Newsflash. At least the first track of their album, I need to listen to more of it, but I remember the first track of their album was decent. Double Pidgey. For some reason, I just remembered another of theirs. Deeper Shade of Blue. Oh, wow! Deeper Shade of Blue. I'm not sure I remember that one, Rich, but the name does ring a bell. Classic Gengar, yes, Rich. You were just saying around at Dragapult's close second right now. Oh, yes, I saw that comment briefly. Dragapult is a very cool Pokemon. Apparently there's some lore about it that, you know how its tail is kind of see-through and ghostly and wavy? The dinosaur that Dragapult is based on, the specimens they found, none of them have ever had the tail bones intact. So the fact that it's a ghostly tail is a little nod to that. There's your Dragapult fact, Rich, and for everyone in stream. I think that's really cool. Was the original the Bee Gees? Yeah, maybe, Rich. Maybe. Good shout. I can see that. We're finding a lot of Hoppet for 5%. Spare time, you found your sister's 3DS which left behind. Ooh, that's exciting. That's an exciting find. Blue Yellow from the Virtual Console and Omega Ruby downloaded. So enjoying that. Nice. So what are you focusing on right now, Raddad? Which one? Very cool. Love to do some hunts in Generation 1 at one point. Or maybe one hunt. See how I found it, because it's quite different from others. You have to find Pokemon with certain stats and like compare the numbers, and then when you trade it up to Gen 2 it'll be shiny. But it'll be the only way in the first two generations to get like shiny Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Mewtwo, etc. The ones that you can't breed. To find a shiny starter would be so cool, but I think at level 5, maybe it would just be too... The numbers can't be as distinct as you'd need them to be to make it an efficient hunt. So yeah, probably breeding is the way for that. But anyway. Finding peer pressured Lee into Sonny's Ribbon Master on Friday. Wow! Now... Which Pokemon is he going to Ribbon Master? I know that he loves Tyranitar. Is he going for that? Very first shiny was a Fampi. Think you'd enjoy that a bit as a fellow Gen 2. Yes, Rufus, thank you for sharing. Ooh, shiny Fampi. Shiny Donphan, so cool. That's a Pokemon Silver exclusive. It's really interesting the way it works with Pokemon Silver and Gold, because I believe everywhere outside of Europe, or maybe it's just Japan, I don't know. I believe it's everywhere outside of Europe that you find Fampi in Gold and Teddiursa in Silver, but for some reason for the European, and I guess the American releases too, actually, it's the other way around. It's Fampi in Silver and Teddiursa in Gold. Anyway, so I very much associate Fampi and Donphan with Pokemon Silver. There's an argument that I go for mainly version exclusives in this Dream Team quest. And you know what? Thinking about the other members, for a start, Ledian wasn't originally there. It was going to be Fortress, but I just realised Karen's words from the Johto Elite Four really sat with me. Truly skilled trainers try and win with their favourites, and I realised the only reason I didn't have Ledian on the team is because it struggles somewhat in terms of its stats and competitively. And so I decided, you know what, Karen? Fair advice. And that's why Ledian's on the team now. I do think Fortress is cool as well, but what I'm saying is it might lead to more changes of targets. The original team was Feraligatr, Fortress, Espeon, Kingdra, Piloswine, and then Skarmory or Xatu, because I want a flyer. But what's going to be for sure, Totodile, Ledian, Espeon, Kingdra. I haven't decided on whether I'll evolve my Totodile yet, but we'll see. And then the final two slots, which were Piloswine and Skarmory / Xatu, depending on, you know, how difficult it is to find Skarmory in Pokemon Silver. / I also really like Xatu. They could change. Piloswine, I love the Ice type, as we were saying. I think Ice Path is so iconic. But do I love the Pokemon Piloswine? No. Skarmory and Xatu, I would like a flying Pokemon. Make things easier. I really like Noctowl as well, to be honest, and I love Furret. I could try me out of the Dream Team. I don't know if all of them, though. It's going to require some shuffling around and seeing what works, but I was looking into Octillery today, actually, because I think that would be there in my top 6 of Generation 2 Pokemon. I think it's so cool. And the way it can learn moves that double Ledyba are far beyond water, just because of its basis on, you know, a tank and ammo. But I think it's pretty much locked to after the game. You can get a Remoraid Swarm, and you can find it with the Good Rod, but then I'm locking myself into waiting for Remoraid Swarms, which probably isn't the best. Yeah. I was just thinking, Togetic would be a good flyer as well. I do have a flying type, Ronnie, but it can't learn fly. That's the issue. Help me get around. Where is shiny hunting the mystery egg that you get that hatches in Togepi would be a bit of a chore. And anyway, I've saved past that point in the game now. I could just breed Togepi, I could hunt it that way, but breeding in this game is no joke, it takes a long time. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe my opinions on who constitutes the team will change as time goes on, but again, Totodile / Feraligatr, Ledian, Espeon, Kingdra are definites. Fun facts with Charlie, exactly, Raddad. The Dragapult fact, yeah, didn't realise it based on Dinosaur, yeah. Did it also throw its young in its buttons? I doubt it, but unconfirmed, Rich. Let me just catch up on these messages. Shannonton Croconaw, and we'll keep it as such until he finally gets it to ZA for the regional form. Ooh, if it is a regional form. That's fun, Riley. Oh, double Ledyba again. Feel the need to call it out every time. Look at how the encounters are flying by, by the way, as we double hunt. I could have single hunted, and I would have been content to do that, to be honest, but it does feel good to make some progress. I think it's on the Pokemon Center website, if you pre-order ZA, they will send you a random one of the Sitting Cuties, Chikorita, Totodile, and Tepig. I don't have any of those. I'd love a Totodile to also commemorate the Jubilee. I think we're going to go with that name that Ash suggested. Really fantastic name. It came around the channel anniversary. Jubilee has that note of jubilant to it for the merriness, all the merriment that I aspire to provide for you all. I think it's a lovely name. So I'd love a Totodile Sitting Cutie to commemorate that. And let's face it, for ZA, I'm probably going to choose Totodile. I'll see how I feel on the day, but on the day, imagine. That day is coming, everyone, when ZA comes out. Crazy. My camera's moving again, isn't it? Come on, mate. Ooh. So I'm tempted to do that. See which plushie I'm sent. Because I wouldn't mind any of them. My least favourite would be Tepig, probably. Or my least preferred. Just because I love Gen 2 so much, but, yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, Riley. Lee called it Krokorok on the Soul Link stream last week as well. That is confusing. Speaking of which, everybody, sadly, not going to be able to stream with Lee tomorrow for the Soul Link. He has alternative plans. I'm like, mate, what could be more important than the Soul Link with your chum, Charlie? But fair enough. So hopefully next week we'll be starting the Soul Link again after we failed twice. Very early on in the run as well. Which is a real shame, but and we always have such fun on those streams. And for the next stream, we're going to absolutely speed through, because we've all seen that beginning scene enough times now in this Soul Link. We'll do the funny voices, but we'll just talk quickly. Yeah, he was a little bit overzealous with his Chimchar in the face of a rollout Geodude last week. But oh well. I lost it for us the first time, he lost it the second time, and now we're all square. Third bowl of porridge, are we just right? You heard it here first. God, lots than 3 bears. Didn't Ash have a shiny Noctowl? Yeah, I think so. I think so, Rivers. I didn't follow the anime too closely, but from what I've gathered in later years, yeah, I think so. Very cool. Try to catch Pineco without breeding in a game, and no. Oh, that's true, yeah. Although, when you headbutt in Ilex Forest and Azalea, it only has, like, Tackle, right, and Defense Curl, Meddler. So I think we'd be okay if I hunted it early enough in the game. Also, like, I'm sure there's a way around it where if we lead a high enough level Pokemon and we have some level balls, then it would be a guaranteed capture. Fly that learns fly is the key one. Gligar would be cool, but he ain't going to kind of... Yeah, exactly. Not a Pokemon Silver appearance. I've never actually used Gligar on a team. I'm thinking about this a lot recently. I don't know why. I should find other things to think about, probably. But, yeah, I've never used it. Or Gliscor. So I'd like to do that at some point. I love Generation 2 so much. I could genuinely see myself just shiny hunting for all of the Johto Pokedex. Find a shiny Gligar. Beyond ready for Safari Week. Ooh, first time multi-hunting. All other shiny hunts. You've done a Gen 3 or 4 in single system. Wow, Riley. So this will be your first Safari Week. Or have you done Safari Week before, but just on a single system? Yes, Safari Week is on the horizon, everybody. Absolutely crazy. Cannot believe that it's coming around so soon. It tends to be June, it might be early July. Well, yeah, we'll have to see how it pans out this year, but yeah. What targets do you think you're going to go for, Riley? For me, I'm definitely going to have either Fire Red or Leaf Green or both going. The Kanto Tavares Zone, the classic, it's got to be done. I'm toying with like Volbeat and Illumise in the Soul Silver Hot Gold Tavares Zone. Great Marsh and BDSP would be quite cool, actually, I think. And Emerald for Ledyba too. Yeah, maybe actually the Soul Silver doesn't really fit in this time. We'll have to see. I was hunting on 4 systems last year, and anything that was stressful enough. Anything beyond 4, I'm yeah. And I was so new to it all that I didn't have a increment set up with my counter, and I had to press this insane combination of keys. Double Ledyba. I will call it down every time. I hope. Insane combination of keys, so I had to press all of those at the same time with one hand 4 times for every single encounter. It was a lot. Safari Week video I filmed at the beginning of the year. And you'll have noticed it's still not out. My plan is to get out in time for Safari Week this year, but I also want to finish the script for my EUIC video. Oh, so much to do. But it's going to be worth it. I'm pleased with the scripts I'm putting out for those. You hope it's going to be a regional form for the first partners in ZA. Really hope we do get regional forms, not just the Mega. Yeah. We should get regional forms. I would guess. It's sort of become a staple now, hasn't it? Even, you know, Scarlet and Violet had 2 regional forms only, I think, with Wooper and Tauros. So even if it's just 1 or 2, probably 2 is the minimum, but yeah. Shiny answering on VGC tomorrow, Riley. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest, because I'm also... So the way it might work out, it actually kind of works out quite, well, sort of well in a way. I would like to participate in the, I can't remember if it's Grand or Global Challenge this weekend, but that. And so it does give me time to get a team together, and hopefully it means that I'll be able to stream at some point this weekend with the Grand Challenge. So no stream tomorrow might just mean a stream at the weekend. I think I'll probably sort of give myself that leeway to be able to build a team with the view to streaming at the weekend, as opposed to doing another VG or shiny hunting stream tomorrow or something else. Double Ledyba. Hashtag Double Ledyba, we'll get that trending. Double Ledyba is quite a cool... It's got a nice ring to it. It's got a nice rhythm. Double Ledyba. I have to call something that. Anyway, so yeah, that's my thinking, Riley. Losing run last week has broken him. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. It was so funny anyway. Yes, I had a message from Lee earlier. The odds of having a Nintendo 64. I don't have one. Don't have one, Riley. Love to see the shiny team in Pokemon Stadium 2 and could always mail you the game and read it. Oh, that's so kind of you, Riley. Yeah, I was going to say, when you said last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, that... No, that's not shiny. I was getting ahead of myself. When you said that you can transfer Pokemon freely from Generation 2 to Stadium 2 and vice versa, I was like, oh, that's great, because Stadium 2 is on the Nintendo Switch Online, right? But presumably it will have to be the Nintendo 64. So that's a shame. But it would be really cool. I don't know. I wonder... I know that, you know, vintage consoles and games can sell for extortionate money these days, but an N64, surely, isn't going to cost that much money? I could be wrong. So I could look into that. Then a cartridge of Stadium 2. Anyway, we'll see. Certainly not high up on my priorities. But it would be cool to have the option. It's so annoying that my camera keeps sliding. I just have to keep propping it up again. So I apologise. It's balanced on a tripod and there's not enough room for it to stand up properly, so it's slightly teetering. Anyway. Every Gen 3 game. 5 ways for Feraligatr hunt. Wow, that's a cool idea. Cool idea, right? I could do that as well, I guess. Although, for Ruby and Sapphire, I don't know if there are any targets I'd be desperate for. In Ruby and Sapphire. Emerald, definitely, with as far as own extension. All those Johto Pokemon. Ooh, yeah. Meowdy to you too, Moxie Mouse. Good to see you. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. The encounters are flying by. We're definitely going to reach 1,000 encounters on tonight's stream. Double hunting for Ledyba. I don't mind phasing. The shiny sparkles in Gen 2 are iconic. Some cool targets here. How's your day going, Moxie Mouse? Always a pleasure to see you. Might indulge this year, maybe in Platinum. Nice, yeah, do a Great Marsh hunt. What target would you want in the Great Marsh, Rich? I mean, the ideal is, like, once you've beaten the game, to have those National Dex Pokemon appearing, like Kangaskhan and Yanma. Or before that, there could be Skorupi, there could be, what's the other one? Krogunk. Krogunk's such a cool shiny. A turquoise one. Turquoise is my favourite colour for shinies, maybe my favourite colour, generally. Alright. Hiker just told us, Anthony the Hiker just told us about a battle, right? He didn't tell us about a swarm, then I missed it. Get a chance to scoot around the Venezuela regional. Ooh! That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Or like Comic-Con or something. Do you know roughly how much they go for, Ronnie? The, N64, etc. Ruby Sapphire Emerald are easy because you just bunny hop. It's true, you're bunny hop, but I'm just not sure if the targets in Ruby and Sapphire, at least, are what I would be going for. Larvitar would be so cool as well, iconic for Generation 2. Glad you're doing good, Moxie Mouse. No idea what's in there. Fair enough. Your first Sinnoh run through. Oh yeah, I remember you saying now, Rich, of course. So excited for you to start this Platinum. Yeah, you mentioned that yesterday, didn't you? Thanks so much for joining yesterday, by the way, everybody. We were streaming with PokeMMD's, or is it just Pokemon? I'm never sure how to pronounce it. Milwaukee Top 8 team, the Milwaukee Regional Championships this past weekend. And did really well. We had 7 wins, 2 losses. So I'm toying with running something like that for the Grand/Global Challenge this weekend. I was yeah, I mean, a lot of hype was drummed up about that stream since I was using the team, and that was great to see. The energy of this stream could not be more different. It's very laid back, very chill. Have we listened? I know, Rich, you mentioned it earlier. Have we listened to True Green 7's episode of Chazingdra Chats? That's my podcast where we get to know the life stories and Dream Team Pokemon of people in the community. It's always an illuminating time. True Green 7, Pokemon art content creator, comes up with their own Pokemon, has theories about how Pokemon are designed, etc. Had a fascinating chat with Ron, so do check that out. I think it's linked in the description below as well, that specific episode. And plenty more videos, plenty more podcast episodes on the channel with a broad range of guests. They're competitive as well as casual players, etc. Bounce for something for everyone, more than 50 episodes. Oops, didn't mean to. Sorry, Ledyba, that's going to hurt. So yeah, Bounce to be something for everyone with the podcast episodes. More than 50. In fact, the 55th came out this week, so we're now close to 60. Got some very cool guests in the pipeline as well, so I'm looking forward to you all seeing who I've got planned. But anyway, Merri members, my channel members, get 4 bonus videos per month. The Rapidash rounds. bonus quickfire questions that my guests haven't prepared for. Let's check that out, and plenty more perks. You can see the badges sometimes in the chat. Exclusive emoji as well, early access to videos, priority reply to comments, gameplay with me, Pokemon VGC battles. You can battle me on my Tuesday VGC streams. So yeah, do check out. If you click join below, then you can see what the perks are without actually joining. Rest assured. And likes and subscribes as ever, everybody. Hugely appreciated. Speaking of the VGC streams, by the way, Tuesday next week I might not be able to. I'll have to see. But yeah, now I have to make a trip on Tuesday, which might preclude me from streaming. Which would be a shame. Maybe I do the VGC stream at another day. Maybe I don't do the shiny hunting stream next week. We'll see. We'll see anyway. But just so you're aware, there might not be a Tuesday stream next week. But I'll try and fit in the VGC stream somewhere else. Glad to see you appreciate your post. Yeah, exactly. Surely make a Chazingdra chance appearance. Well. We'll see, Rich. Yeah, it was great to have Pokegame's support. Rich, what was the main thing you picked up on from the Chazingdra chats today with True Green 7? And actually, I am a little bit toasty. The weather in the UK at the moment is so annoying. It's it was so warm for a lot of last week, and then we've really entered a cold snap, and like much colder than you'd expect for May, even by the UK standards. So yeah, let's turn the heating on in May. Could you believe it? Okay, so Riley. Okay, that's not bad actually. Not bad. Because you also get a lot of stuff for that. So everyone, has anyone been going for the Gimmighoul raids? Has anyone found a shiny Gimmighoul? And also, did anyone else notice that oh, hello Joey. It's the second time you call me in about half an hour. Tough Weedle again. These tough Weedles, Joey. Yeah, do something about it. Anyway, if anyone happened to catch any of the Snooker World Championships, and again, I don't watch snooker, but I just, you know, because it was on, sometimes I saw a bit of it. The world champion had a Chimchar on his bow tie, on their bow tie. I don't know their preferred pronouns, so I'm just going to go with the third person plural. That's okay. Zhao Zintong, Chimchar on the bow tie. Very interesting. I wonder what his story with, what their story with. Oops, we're slower. With Chimchar and Pokemon is. They seem quite young as well, so actually maybe it was just their first partner Pokemon. It's really interesting to see. I only watched some of the video the last year or so. Didn't realise he made a different style of video. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Rich? But it just goes to show, you know, you sort of, in the early days of content creation, like, for me and, I mean, everyone at some point in their career, you're just throwing paint at the wall and seeing what works best. And then when you discover what works best, you start to channel most of your energies towards that. And I can see how fairly swiftly your tracks will be covered, and if people get to know you for that, they don't necessarily go through your entire back catalogue. Just see new stuff as it comes out. yeah, how it's sort of swiftly forgotten the original content that you did. Really fascinating videos Ron has. Like, four artists design Pokemon based on the same description that they have. There was a video I did recently about coming up with outfits based on Pokemon, not cosplay, but just day-to-day clothes that you would wear. That was interesting. Pokemon awards as well. Rewarding creators, as well as literally characters in the game, like the most popular Pokemon of the year or video game character of the year, anime episode, that sort of thing. So really fascinating. As I say, that episode doesn't play. One of two problems, Emerald. Oh yeah, true. The phone. Jeremy changed from Stephen to Wallace. Is that a problem? It does seem a bit weird to me how you have a water-type gym leader and then also the champion is water-type. Having said that, the Steven battle in, is it Meteor Falls? At the end of Emerald is iconic. Such a good battle. I find this really fascinating about Generation 3. It's a game about Groudon versus Kyogre. The land versus the sea. And there's a water-type gym leader, and not just a water-type gym leader, it's the final one. But there's no ground-type. That seems sort of unfairly weighted, right? It'd be cool if in Ruby, the final gym is ground, and in Sapphire it's water. There's a little nod to that. That was before the days when they did different gyms for different games, but yeah. I found it interesting on that note how Sword and Shield, in Sword, there's a rock and a fighting gym, and in Shield there's an ice and a ghost gym. Rock and fighting seem very much the same sort of type, if that makes sense. The rugged thing, not fully elemental like the fire, water, grass, and that's what I enjoy about a Pokemon type, the more sort of poetic almost, the more florid way of looking at things. I'm surprised that one wasn't swapped between the versions, like rock and ice and ghost and fighting. But maybe that's just the way I view the types. I don't know what all of your thoughts are on that. Free trip to Europe, yeah. True, yes. Yeah, I think Ron was part of a video club at school, and I think it was high school. Paved the way for YouTube now. I mean, very cool to discover your affinity for that while at school. Made it a homework assignment to design the logo for his channel. Great use of time. I remember, I can't remember which guest it was now, but I was interviewing and they said, you know, am I maybe a bit old to be getting into content creation? I was like 23 or whatever, and I'm like, mate, if you see yourself as old, then I am ancient. You're never too old. Whatever you want to achieve. That's what you want to achieve, is literally being a baby. But yeah. Assistant theme in the chat's about people either stepping away from Pokemon or at least pretending not to like it. Yeah, exactly. Because you're worried about what's cool and etc. You know, as sort of increasingly worrying as the world is, we do these days have much more, I think, acceptance for fandoms like Pokemon and people being into it and, you know, just embracing nerdiness that little bit more. Increasingly as the years go on. So long may that continue. Love to see it. Really wish I had the bike and all, but I can't complain. These encounters are so fast. Which is a nice change from Totodile. We've earned it. Have I seen Blue Boy Fins? Yes. Yes, I have, Riley. I am a huge fan. In fact, Bologna last year, when Lee and I were commentating there, we were all on a walk around town, and somehow the topic of Blue Boy Fin came up, Riley, and Lee and I both, we were just huge fans. I mean, yeah, the video where he's exploring the origins of Pokemon Gold and Silver, the inspiration behind Lugia and Ho-Oh. Hope I haven't missed a double Ledyba, by the way. The ruins of Alph, etc. Just mind-blowing. And like how faithful Pokemon Gold and Silver and Crystal are to the region they're based on. I can't remember the name of that region now in Japan. Even to the point of like the city that Ecriteek's based on, the route just south of there, deers appear, and you know, that's Stantlers basis. Yeah. Totally agree with you, Ronnie. It's interesting, because Blue Boy Fin started out as more just like shiny hunting and very much like an irreverent comedy style and like finding obscure facts. That's very much his thing as well. But I pivoted into the more serious, and it, you know, I love the content. You know me, I love Generation 2, but I think it's a shame that he lost that that more light-hearted element. Hopefully it will come back at some point. Double Ledyba, there we go. Great to get your thoughts, Rich, on the episode. Yeah, such commitment. Did he move out there to Japan or something? Anyway, fascinating. Ledyba are really thriving right now. In terms of other targets I could go for, I just love so many Gen 2 Pokemon. I think you need to have a good sit down with the Johto Pokedex at some point and work it out. It's also, though, exciting to have, like, the targets be a bit fluid. I mean, you know, we have to find Ledyba, and then we have to soft reset hunt for Eevee. Another soft reset. I don't think the resets will take as long as they did for Professor Elm, though. I'm not sure, but yeah, I hope not. And then Horsey. And then we're on to our next target. Or maybe we'll find a target that appears before then in the game, but we're not in a rush. We'll see how our feelings change. And who knows, I might have some kind of fateful encounter with a Pokemon in a different game. That means that it's going on the double Ledyba, Silver, Dream Team Quest as well. Welcome in if you're just tuning in, everyone. A pleasure to see you here. Thanks so much for being here. All likes and subscribes hugely appreciated as I make my way towards, I was about to say 13,000. I mean 1,300 subscribers. One day. I'm a host and commentator of the Pokemon Video Game Championship Series and a content creator of my podcast, Chazingdra Chat, life stories and dream teams of people in the Pokemon community. Working on my EYC video right now, the event from the caster's perspective. I vlog events I cast, I make silly Pokemon comedy skits, I come up with bad Pokemon jokes, and then I do a montage of those jokes for my channel. Lots to get involved in. So hope you all check out everything that's going on. I'm at Chazingdra across all socials. That's a double Ledyba. X, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok. Have a follow along there. Discord community link below as well. hop into Chazindra's chocolate factory and come and join the merry folk. It'll be a pleasure to see you. Lucky 888? No. Patreon link below too. Channel memberships. You can see all of the perks on offer below. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, I stream as well, of course. Competitive as well as casual shiny hunting and challenge runs. Currently a Hunting Nuzlocke with Lee Provost Osiris VGC. So I hope I can make your day merry. And as I was saying, it's early days for my channel too, so I'm still like experimenting with what content works best. So hope you'll join me on that journey. Joe Rowan, good to see you. Yeah, very well, thank you, very well. How are you? How are the cooking classes going? Thanks so much for being here. You a fan of Generation 2, Jerome? It's taken until the past couple of years to openly enjoy Pokemon. Professional wrestling, and you just got to the point being like, why bother hiding it? Yeah, nice, Rich. It's a realization we all come to at some point. I think the pandemic did a lot to make people be more open about their interest in things like Pokemon. All kinds of gaming franchises, really. Because gaming was obviously so popular over the pandemic. Hello, Shimon. Thank you for hopping in. I realise I need to get back to a message that you sent me, Shimon. Sorry, it's been insanely busy. But I appreciate it. How are you doing, Shimon? Great to see you. How's your day going? And thank you. Do take Shimon's advice. Thank you, Ralph, for this. Yeah, how's your day going, Shimon? And yeah, as Shimon says, all likes and subscribes, hugely appreciated. And cheers, Shimon. 900 encounters, we are flying by. We're going to do more than 1,000 on tonight's, well, not do in tonight's stream, but we're going to get over 1,000 encounters total on tonight's stream. And it really doesn't feel like it's been that many. Just about ready to pull out, but you're done. Well done, Rad Dad. Nice. Have a well-earned cold drink. And a nice chill. Congratulations, Rad Dad. Hope you have a much calmer rest of your day. You're making an Ursaluna. What, is this for the Grand or Global? I can't remember if it's Grand or Global, but is it for the Grand or Global Challenge, man? And who else is going to participate in this weekend's online tournament? And what sort of team are you thinking of running? Since my battles with Pokemon's team yesterday went so well, I might just recreate that. Or maybe I'll throw in some surprises for the best of one closed team sheet. But yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards. Like how the team plays. And hello, Gen 2. You know me. I love that. Sprained your ankle a few days ago. I'm sorry to hear that. Take the opportunity to start working on your Utrecht stream. That sounds like a very good, or Utrecht team. That sounds like a very good use of the time that you've been given there, Jerome. I hope your ankle gets better. But what sort of team are you thinking? Hydrate, late lunch, and Pokemon Can't Complain. Yeah. Good way of looking at things. Thank you for reminding me, Radar. I do need to hydrate again. Makeshift nachos. Sounds nice. As Weedle and Kakuna appear on screen at the same time. The evolved form. Sounds nice, but yeah, I hope that's substantial enough for you for lunch. We're gonna have a double Ledyba. Is it gonna be a hashtag double Ledyba? No. Groudon Miraidon. Interesting, Jerome. Miraidon's everywhere, isn't it? I know there was a lot of talk about Calyrex Shadow Rider being everywhere in Regular Legends. I find it fascinating that Zamazenta Calyrex Shadow didn't, it did decently in Milwaukee, but was it even in the top 8? I feel like it wasn't. Which is crazy. It's so good. Maybe because there was so much hype about it. Maybe the metagame sort of evolved before the format actually started. So people were trying to counter Zamazenta Calyrex. Having any involvement in your threats? Well, we will see, Rich. We will see. I can neither confirm nor deny at this point. Definitely not going to be enough. You have to make it work until the wife gets home with the car and maybe more food. Oh no. Are you going to be at home for lunch, Rad? There's nothing you can sort of supplement your lunch with in the fridge. Sorry to hear that, though. I have been hunting off stream, everybody. You won't be surprised to learn. Watching... It's great videos. I'm watching a video by someone called... No worries, Shmon. No worries at all. Welcome back. What do you have your eyes on in regulations that Shmon? Make a team for a friend in Utrecht. Cool. Yeah, what team do you have your eye on? Shmon, what are you thinking is going to be successful? I'm enjoying that Ho-Oh is so much more common at the moment than it ever has been. As a Gen 2 fan, Ho-Oh seeing play, you'll have to see it. Anyway. Yeah, I was watching a really fascinating video from, I think they go by the Sludge King on YouTube, and they do like these lore videos. And the one I'm watching is about the ruins in Pokemon and their creation, sort of speculating as to who might have made them. I love ruins. I studied Latin and ancient Greek, classical civilization, that sort of thing at university, so I'm all over that sort of thing. Ruin Maniac might be my favourite trainer class in Pokemon. I think if I were a trainer class, I'd be Ruin Maniac. They tend to use ground types, and ground isn't really one of my favourites at all, but just in terms of the persona and what they represent, Ruin Maniac is definitely what I would say. What trainer class do you think you would all be in the chat? Good question for you. Don't all just say Ace Trainer. Because we kind of all are, right? Just by nature of playing through Pokemon games, we are all Ace Trainers. So that's a given. Ugh, Joey, the third time this morning. That tough Weedle. Joey, just level up your team, mate. Anyway. Well, thank you very much, Rich. Thank you for understanding, too. Welcome in if you're just tuning in, everyone. A pleasure to see you all here. All likes and subscribes, hugely appreciated. As we progress in my Pokemon Silver Dream Team quest, my childhood copy of the game, no less, is in the black Game Boy that you see on the right, as opposed to the silver one, ironically. We've got Totodile. And next up is Ledyba. I have a soft spot for Ledyba. It's an underrated Pokemon. It's a Pokemon that's so feeble, I just want to champion it. And in this game, there's a chance it still wouldn't be on the Dream Team, but in this game, it does get access to Thunder Punch and Ice Punch, which would have been so useful in my soloing Brilliant Diamond with Ledian run. And that could really save it on the team. I Shiny Hunt. I stream competitive as well as Nuzlockes and challenge runs. So you're all very welcome here. Thanks for being here. Hope you brought your luck with you. Hope to make your day merry. Peanut butter sandwich. Okay, well that's something. Could eat another breakfast sandwich. Peanut butter sandwich plus nachos. That's something. That's something resembling a meal. Randad. Better than just the nachos. So many Ledyba appear in Crystal. Koridon and Ghost type. Yeah, okay. Lunala or Calyrex. Play Quick Claw. As in, you went up against Quick Claw. Calyrex Shadow Rider, that's crazy. Or were you playing it yourself? Love to see those items that you never see. Definitely coming to the next UK regional or EYC. Great, even though it will be much later in the year, or next year after Worlds. Yeah. Well, that's great to hear, Rich. It's a shame in a way, as you say, that the... Yeah. Birmingham this year was... January, and then EYC was February. Yeah, it's a shame the UK ones aren't spread out a bit more, but or haven't been this year. But yeah, looking forward to seeing you at an event, Rich. So you've never been to an event before. I think you're going to have an absolutely wonderful time. Not sure how successful your team will be, but we'll see how things will go. Bird catcher. Or is it bird keeper? Yeah, bird keeper. Like flying types. That's cool, Duran. And what team? Groudon and Miraidon. Yeah, okay. Good luck with those Precipice Blades. Because I was originally enjoying Kyogre and Zacian, but I just missing Origin Pulses and Play Rough double Ledyba. It's not the one. Was it Birmingham? Yeah, it was Birmingham. You know, I was running Draco Meteor with Drago and other moves that could miss, and there were games that I could have won, entire sets that I could have won. If I hadn't missed those moves. So I'm trying to limit myself to moves that are basically 100% accurate. I've got, you know, super chats and lights and stickers, by the way, as well, everybody, if you want to show support that way. Will I name it Iris? Ooh, it's a good question. Riley. I think that'll just have to be an in-the-moment decision, really. It'd be quite nice in a way to keep Iris separate as a Pokemon Brilliant Diamond thing. That iconic run. And this is fundamentally a different Ledyba, but we'll have to see. Maybe it'll just feel right. We could go with the theme of celebration, given we've got Jubilee the Totodile. What do you all think? Do you think I should name it Iris? I'm obviously, you know, I don't know what I will do yet, but it'd be interesting to get your opinions. Kilbasa, what's that, Rad Dad? I'm not sure I've heard of that. Forgive my ignorance. But I'm glad to hear it. Glad you've got some more to eat. You played it. Oh, wow. Useful twice and you got one funny clip. Perfect. Sounds like a good weekend's work, Shimon. Quick Claw. Hilarious. What is the Quick Claw chance again of activating? Polish sausage. Ah, thank you very much for informing me, Raddad. Good. Bit of protein. Always important. I see. Isn't in the UK next year. What do you mean with Nez, Ronnie? Yeah, why do you hope that? Like to have gotten 2 EOC in February, but funds are a little tight coming for Christmas, your wedding, and both of his birthdays. Yeah, of course. No worries, Rich. The spectator passes, how much would they have been? Like 10? We're just a spectator, but obviously there's the Pokemon Center there as well, which you probably want to enjoy, so yeah. Oh, new rules. Oh, I see. Oh, that's a shame, Ronnie. Yeah. Comet. Oh, yeah. Comet Punch. Is it the signature move? Is Comet Punch the signature move? Comet's quite nice. It's also got that celestial theme, which is always a feature of Ledian's, at least, Pokedex entries. Comet's fun. Whereas there was a welder trainer. Ooh. Where's the world of cards? That was your trade previously. That's interesting, Rich. I have to be engineer. Low electric isn't your preferred typing. Yeah, it's the same with me and Ruin Maniac. It's just like whatever speaks to you the most, I guess. In terms of the actual class rather than the Pokemon they would use. For a moment there, I thought that Ledyba might have been shiny. But it ain't. So another thing I've been doing, everybody, in sort of downtime in the evenings is, which is pretty limited right now, all these days, or just at the moment, is the Battle Factory on Pokemon Emerald. And Shmon, I know you're a huge fan of that. You essentially introduced me and Ben Kiraku to that. So much fun. The furthest I've got so far, you know, I'm doing it pretty casually. The furthest I've got so far is getting the silver symbol. I'd love to get the gold symbol of that, and then I'd maybe explore other Battle Factory facilities. Yeah, I'm currently... I think I've just done 2 rounds of 7, so 7 or 14 straight wins at this point, so I think I've got up against a Brain at the end of the next batch. I've never got to the point where they're like using legendaries. That would be sick. And also, speaking of that, in Crystal, there's a battle tower, which I feel like isn't talked about enough. And that is crazy. You can see it's like it's definitely a proto version of the battle tower that we ended up, or the battle factory that we ended up having. But it was like literally the first battle, and my opponent had a Zapdos. A Zapdos. That's crazy. I just, you know, immediately was felled. Yeah. Holds no punches. They probably developed the Battle Factory system since then. Well, they definitely have, to make it a little bit more accessible, because that was a lot. Double Ledyba. Fire breathers, that's true. That would work, Shmon. Travel on accommodation, yeah, fair enough. Northeast. Of course, Rich, I sort of, yeah. I didn't actually know where you're based. That makes sense, Rich. Transfer team over to Crystal and fight in the battle tower. That's true, I could do that, Ryder. That's fun. Fun idea. That is cool. Yeah, do they like... What do you win in the Battle Tower and Crystal other than items? So there are no marks in this game, right? So... some kind of thing to distinguish the Pokemon would be really cool. 1,000, everybody! That's 1,000. That means we've done like 500 encounters on tonight's stream, which is... or more like 400, I guess. Really good going. That's like 400 an hour-ish? Yeah, roughly. Which bodes well for the future of this hunt. Just zoom through. And we can phase, sure. But we'll get through them quickly. That's why you're assigned to the Gen 3 Shiny Hunting. Once you finish the Elite 4, you'll be able to use your Shiny Squad in the Battle Frontier and Emerald, then Mount Battle and Coliseum. Ooh, yeah! That's a really good point. Yeah, it is... I totally agree with you. It is all about how the sort of, what would we say, the transferability of it all in Pokemon. As you say, being able to use the one team for all of that makes it so special. You forge these very personal connections to these Pokemon. Northeast, not quite as northerly. Definitely more southern now. Yeah, for sure. Actually feels the cold. Imagine double Ledyba as well. The backlight on my silver SP isn't as strong, but I just have to hope that I will notice when it's different. So in crystal, it's going to be so much easier to spot in silver because basically the entire sprite is its body and that's what changes colour. In crystal, because it's sat on its hind legs like that, it's mainly its belly that's exposed. Oops. So it's hard to tell if it's shiny, but obviously it does a shiny sparkles. It's just if I happen to miss those. Lee actually feeling the cold. Such a northern thing to say. Is that 3 Ledyba in a row in crystal? That's cool. Yeah, whenever I'm assigned a Kingdra in the Battle Factory, I am obviously over the moon. What are your... The question about what trainer class you think you'd be still stands, but also favourite Battle Factory memories, or generally, you know, that. It could be Emerald, it could be Generation 4, it could be Battle Facility and Sword and Shield, etc. Is there one in Scarlet and Violet now I think about it? Not sure. Yeah, what are your favourite memories from those? I think maybe the very first time, or one of the very first times at least, that I did it, the Battle Factory in Emerald, I had this, I think it was Choice Band Aerodactyl, and it just swept through everything. It was amazing. It's annoying how sort of dependent it can be on the Pokemon you're assigned. And also the trainers you go up against, of course, because you can choose to claim a Pokemon from them. And, of course, in the battle itself, you could face some atrocious luck that could end your run, but very, very cool idea. Unsurprisingly, when I spoke to Wolf for the podcast, he said that the Battle Factory is his jam. Campertod, my friend. Do you want to battle? What's good about this in Crystal is that it's a way of, like... I've got the phone numbers of some trainers who will phone with some rare items, like evolution stones, that you can't really get anywhere else. And so being able to do these encounters, it just provides so much opportunity for a phone call to come through with one of those, which is great. This is my playthrough of Crystal that I was doing over the holidays. I beat Red a few weeks ago now. First time. I was quite lucky with hitting in Confusion, but I think it balanced out because I think Red got quite a few crits against me. So yeah. Always feels so good to beat Red. And that theme, that battle theme, incredible. And as I say, no stream tomorrow, unfortunately, everybody. I probably, Lee isn't free. I probably won't book in another of my own streams. Because I plan to participate in the Global Flash Grand Challenge this weekend. And I hope to stream it for, at least Sunday, I would guess. Friday and Saturday might be a struggle, but I will probably still battle on the Friday and Saturday. I just won't be able to stream. Actually, will I? The way it works now, people who are more familiar can hopefully help me. It's 15 battles maximum per day, but could I do all 45 on the Sunday? I'm not suggesting that I will do all 45 on the Sunday, but I wouldn't be capped at 15 if I just battled on the Sunday, is my question. Getting your gold symbol in the Battle Factory is absurd. Yeah, worst draft you've ever seen other than a Melodic. Managed to PP to stall 2 Pokemon in a row. Wow, and you clutched the win. That's amazing, Riley. What a way to get it as well. Congratulations. Wow, I'm looking forward to getting that gold symbol on Emerald. What an incredible game. Peter, good to see you. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're having a merry day, and I hope it's about to get merrier. Yeah, well, what have you been up to? And you can. Thank you very much. Unbattled rolls over to the next day. That's good to know. Thank you for the confirmation. What team am I bringing? Well, as I was saying before, my battles with Pokemon's team on stream last night went much better than I was expecting. 7 wins, 2 losses. One was a disconnect, but still 6 wins, 2 losses, we'll take that. And the 2 losses, I just played badly. They definitely could have been wins. That I'm thinking of just running something like that. I might make some, you know, best of 1 closed team sheet tweaks to it. But that's my thinking. I love Ho-Oh. It's a very threatening team, and I like to put on that pressure immediately. Yeah, how about you, Peter? Are you going to participate, and what are you thinking of running? We're going to have double Ledyba. We are not. What are we all doing alongside the stream tonight, everybody? Are we shiny hunting? Are we doing something competitive? Or something totally unrelated to Pokemon? Are we eating? Maybe we cooking? Sorry the number's slightly cut off, by the way, down there, but you can see it clearly enough. Said we weren't going to do all 45 in a day, but 45 battles a day sounds like a 24-hour stream. I'm not sure about 24 hours. I think 15 would normally take me like 3, so it would be like a 9-hour stream. So, still pretty intense. I wouldn't be able to stream all day on Sunday anyway. You know, it's one of those things where maybe it would become all 45. If I felt it was worth going that long. I'd probably quit while I'm ahead, you know. Had an encounter in both games where the little opening is in that ledge to go through. Well, back then it would have been called an international challenge, and I see why I changed that because it's confusing with the international championships. But what, April 2022 would it have been? Yeah, I think so. I did the online competition there, and I thought if I get a rating above 1700, then I'll go to my first in-person Pokemon tournament, and I did. It was a physical Regieleki. It was a Francesco Piopero team, and it was so much fun. Everyone was set up light screen in front of Regieleki, but it didn't matter because it was it came off physical attacks like Wild Charge. And the amazing thing was that in Generation 8, of course, Joey, 4th time. Are you still struggling with that Weedle? Yeah, you are. At least you managed to beat it, though. Yeah, with Dynamax moves, you know, Max Lightning, it would just come up as that. It wouldn't show you if it was what move it was coming off. And that meant, yeah, the opponent would sometimes just go for more than 3 turns, assuming that I was going to be doing special damage. And not playing accordingly. Yeah, and then I went to my first in-person event, Lille, in 2022, which I had a fairly middling performance at, but I did meet Ben Kiraku and David Partington there. And now we all cast. Funny how all these things work out. Your EV training, Jerome, nice. What are you EV training? And good luck, it was not too much of a slog. Playing Addy's Rainbow Road team lately, and you like it, but it's maybe double it a bit. A little too passive. You've still not found your team that you feel comfortable with. Yeah, fair enough, Peter. I don't know if Pokemon's team is what I'm, you know, ultimately going to be rocking for the whole of Ragai, but it's a nice starting point. Actually traded with David Partington earlier to get my Miraidon back. He, at the time, I had Violet and he had Scarlet, so we traded to complete each other's Pokedexes. And yeah, he's had my Miraidon since late 2022. So it felt good to be reunited with that Miraidon. It's in a Timeable, and I know that the Timeable gets a lot of hate, but I actually quite like it. Opinions on the Timeable, everybody? You are shiny hunting marked sizzles. That's very cool, Moxie Mouse. What marks have you found so far? That's a really nice idea. Hunting min speed shiny Ursaluna. Oh, I see. Doing an online tour. Minimum speed shiny Ursaluna. Good for you, Shimon. Good luck. Also, on Pokemon's team that I streamed with yesterday, there's Iron Treads, and I think that's such a cool shiny. The future Paradox shinies are, I think, so great. As I said yesterday, the different coloured fluids, the way they've managed to make all of these sort of robotic Pokemon have interesting designs is really cool. The different coloured fluids that they each have, for example. Shiny Iron Treads I'd love to find. I just need to lock in a team, so I'm probably not going to be doing any shiny hunting for the Crown Challenge, but we'll see. We're in the European Pressure Equipment Directive. Oh, wow. Internal training for work. That is not something that was on my bingo card, Rich. European Pressure Equipment Directive. Okay, well, I hope that is an interesting read. I hope you learned some things you didn't know before. Double Ledyba. I like to tot up, actually, the number of times that I say double Ledyba over the course of the stream. See how likely it is. It's 30% in both games. There's actually a route, and I was debating this, and I could switch it up and do this at any point. The route just south of Ekritique, I think it's 37. In Crystal, you have, in the morning, a 30% chance to find Ledyba, just like on this route in both games. But a 5% chance to find Ledian. Shiny Ledian would be a cool find, just a wild Ledian. And a 5% too. But I do want it to be a Ledyba first. And, like, I will always want to find wild Pokemon if I'm having them on the team or anything at a lower level so that I can do the training myself. I like the grind. And it just makes the Pokemon feel so much more your own, you know? Don't know if anyone else has opinions on that. You're working right now. Yeah, I remember you saying earlier in inverted commas. Riley, so 90% of your job you can handle within the first 4 hours of the day. That's just acting as it. I see. Well, that's a nice position to be in, Riley, I guess. What is it that you do for your job? If you don't mind me asking. And no worries if you do. Oops. I overshot that. Nice. Well, I hope you're enjoying the rest of the day, Ronnie. Paul Joe for battling those with line no, Rad Dad. It's taking all my mind not to call out double Pidgey. I can't call out double whichever Pokemon it is. It's just got to be the target Ledyba. Maybe someday Joe will get past those wheels. Probably when we progress, Joey will. Joey and I are kind of doing a Hunting Nuzlocke ourselves, actually. And anyone who can call me in the game. How try finding a team you feel comfortable with in Regulation I and G? I don't have any advice on that. It's hard, Peter, because it's such a personal thing, but I guess in that situation you just go back to basics, right? You just think, oh, my silver Game Boy's on red battery. Let me rectify that. Go back to basics of, like, what's worked for you before, the kind of playstyle, kind of Pokemon, etc. Oh, no pity, yeah. Also, though, obviously, restricted formats do play differently from others. Actually, who was it? It was it Jerome who was talking about a Groudon Miraidon team? I do think Groudon usage will rise 1,100, everybody. Since Miraidon is so popular right now. I need to time how long it takes me to do 100 encounters. So it's 22 and we're at 1,100 now. Let's see. So you might be on something there, Jerome. Get work close off as soon as possible and then look busy. Dark Urshifu for the Utrecht team. Nice, Jerome. Dark Urshifu. Yeah, I mean, that synergizes better with the Groudon for sure. Cool. Enjoy seeing those big numbers from the EV training. I wish EV training were a thing in Generation 2. I think it works differently, unfortunately. I would take a shiny Hoppip, by the way. Might even find its way onto the Dream Team. Yeah, I think it's another flying type that actually can't learn fly, but I do love the Hoppip line. I think I had a shiny Jumpluff card, or a holo Jumpluff card when I was younger. One of my earliest memories of Gen 2 cards. So yeah, I do have that connection to it. EV training shinies would be very satisfying, I think. So maybe one day. You are quadruple tasking, cooking the sausage, eating the nachos, starter hunting, and Omega Ruby, and then of course watching. Sounds like a pretty good use of time to me, Rad Dad. I hope it is a tasty, I can't remember what it was called now, but I hope it's a tasty meal that you have. Enjoy the nachos. Maybe you'll get that shiny first partner in Omega Ruby. Going for absent-minded Mark. I didn't even know that was Mark. There are so many Marks. I wonder if anyone's catalogued all the Marks. They must have done. In Scarlet and Violet. And it must be such interesting criteria that you have to meet to find them all. To find certain ones. Marks are such a great addition. Basically, signing off pipeworks and power stations and chemical plants. Ah, okay. You might have mentioned that before. Not too exciting or very safety focused, so things don't go with me. Yeah, fair enough, Rich. Do you enjoy it? I hope you enjoy it. Sounds like very important work. We're at the operations of a local construction company. Started as a framer and have moved up to being the problem solver and general do stuff guy. Once the teams are on site with gear, it's autopilot. Yeah, I see, okay. Fair enough, Riley. And do you enjoy that? I was trying to bet you're not the first one that combined them. Groudon Miraidon definitely... It's good synergy. Or is it, actually? It's not bad synergy, anyway. Kangfern feels so good to watch. Shedinja one-shot everything after you give max speed and attack. Yeah! Oh, wow, and the Pokerus. Well, I guess, you know, if there's any solace to how long that Zangoose hunt went, it's finding the Pokerus. You deserved to find Pokerus. Ah, Pokerus. It was on my childhood copy of Silver that's on the screen right now on the right, on the black Game Boy, that I got Pokerus too. I was training in Blackthorn. Maybe I was trying to take on Claire's Kingdra. Great Pokemon, by the way, Claire. Excellent choice in Pokemon. And yeah, I just healed at the Pokemon Center and was told I had Pokerus. I didn't realize, obviously, how rare it was at the time. I found Pokerus before I found a random shiny in Pokemon Silver. at the time, it was quite sort of, shaken is too strong, but it took me aback at the time, because it's like, you're so used to just hammering through that Pokemon Center dialogue. And I was like, hang on a sec, why is this dialogue still going? Why hasn't she not said, we hope to see you again yet? And she was talking about these microscopic life forms, and it is one of those, is this really happening moments, because you just, again, you're so used to the dialogue and you've never seen it before. And then when I did a Pokemon Sapphire Dream Team quest before I was streaming, I found Pokerus again while going for a Whirlpool in Petalburg Woods. Made sure to infect my entire shiny team with it. And they need that. I still haven't done the Elite Four in that game. I've had a couple of attempts. I need to actually beat it. It's Sceptile, Exploud, Viper, Beautifly, Banette, and Gorobis. Which, you know, some of those targets, not the most ambitious and not the most powerful. I say Dream Team, it was double Ledyba. Basically, yeah, I kept my ambitions fairly low for my first one. Oh, I loved it. I loved the experience. Double Ledyba again. Double Ledyba. You love to see it. We're going to have triple double Ledyba. So that's the only Pokemon is still shiny locked. Oh, Alan. It's not going to be a double. Oh. Oh, no, it's a battle, isn't it? I thought it was maybe I've got a rare item for you, because I think you can call up with that. Not even a shiny hunter yourself, you don't really understand. Yeah, I know what you mean, Peter. I sort of don't either. But anyway. That's one of the benefits of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl being such faithful remakes of the originals. You could still shiny hunt the first partners and everything, I think. I still need to finish my Arceus hunt in that game. I'd love to go for shiny Darkrai in that game. Decent place to work. You visit various clients all around the region. That's good. Make your own diary. I thought you said dairy then. You also make your own dairy products. Wow. No, you make your own diary. That makes sense. Regular client base. Mostly work from home, so it's very much about time management. Yeah, fair enough, Rich. Do you enjoy working from home? Double Ledyba. We'll tell you that. I hope that I phase once in the hunt for Ledyba. Having said that, if we're going to phase on some hunts, this is the one I hope we phase most on. Mainly because the encounters are swift. And we've got a diverse range of targets. EV, obviously soft reset, we can't phase there. Phase is finding a target that isn't the one you're going for. Horsey, I believe it's like something like 80% Horsey or something, and then 5% Seadra, or maybe less, and then there's a chance of Tentacruel as well. So yeah, it's not the most interesting place to phase, I guess. We'll have to see how the others work out. I didn't realise, by the way, until today. I had always thought that Remoraid was a Pokemon Silver exclusive, and then Mantine was the Pokemon Gold exclusive. Which I did always think was weird, because of course Remoraid evolves and Mantine doesn't, but obviously Mantine does often have Remoraid swimming under it. Anyway, I was today years old when I learned that actually, when I was considering potential other targets for this quest actually, that it's actually Delibird and Mantine are the paired. I didn't realise that you couldn't find Delibird in Pokemon Gold. But yeah, it's a Silver exclusive. Which seems unfair, Because Mantine actually has some use in battle. Delibird does not really. It can heal the opponent, for crying out loud. But yeah, fun idea for a Pokemon, for sure. I remember first finding Delibird in Pokemon Silver. And just like, wow, what is this? It's so rare. And it can flee from you as well. Much more common in Crystal. Anyway, I can't remember how I got onto that. Commonly say you still don't know what Pokerus actually is. Okay, Raddad, so... Pokerus is there's a very small chance that after each encounter, and in fact, hunting like this, we're probably going to find Pokerus in Gen 2, which is exciting. The debut generation, just like for Shinies. Small chance that after each encounter, a Pokemon you found will have given Pokerus to your Pokemon. And Pokerus, you know, you knock out a Pokemon, like, you know, Duron right now is EV training. You knock out a Pokemon and you get a boost to your stats. Pokerus doubles that boost to your stats. Essentially. So your Pokemon grow more quickly. They grow stronger more quickly. In the fullness of time, if we were to get Pokerus now, then the next few gyms will be easier than they would be if you didn't get Pokerus. By the Elite Four, it's probably all balanced out. Because you've got all of the gains from the Pokemon that you battle you could ever have anyway. It's just you've got there faster if you have Pokerus, if that makes sense. And if I'm wrong, please do someone correct me on that. That's how I understand it. Yeah, I hope, Raddad, that you are taking a little bit of time before jumping back into the madness, because it's so rare that you get that opportunity. I thought it was like 1 in 21,000, Riley. It's even rarer, but anyway. Job hunt is stale. I'm sorry to hear that, Raddad. I think at times you don't sink into the abyss. That's fair enough. Good luck to you, Raddad. Let's get some good luck for Raddad in the chat, please. I will be going until 1,200 encounters, everybody, and then calling it a day. Joey, 5th time. Weedle, causing you issues? By any chance? Oh, Kakuna! Congratulations. The Pokemon that literally cannot attack back. But well done. You beat it. Well done, Joey. Plenty to be positive about. Exactly, Rich. I'm glad. I think we're on the same page there. The right thing will come. Yeah, that is my Umbreon that I've got on Pokemon Crystal there, by the way. Espeon is also my go-to, because I knew I would be doing this Dream Team quest on Silver. I went for Umbreon in Pokemon Crystal. It's nice playing through a Pokemon you rarely use. Delibird named Oswald was the first ever Ribbon Master. Wow. I think I had heard that actually, Riley. Thank you for that. A little bit of Pokemon lore and history. You forgot Pokerus. Yeah, Jerome. I don't think it's in Scarlet and Violet. I'm glad that makes sense around Dad. Yes, exactly, Riley. That's what I was thinking. Take a dab a day. All you can do, sent the corporate assets back to headquarters this morning. Now you have to figure out what to do with your office. Yeah, fair enough. I'm sure your office will find a use, Raddad. Very useful. Yeah, it has been a while, Ben. Welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you've brought the luck for Ledyba. I'm actually about to wrap up, I'm afraid, Ben. And Heath, good to see you as well. And I'm very pleased to hear that your wife isn't going to require surgery on her knee. Heath, phew, that is such a relief. So I hope she's on the mend very quickly. But yeah, getting up to 1,200 and then calling it a stream, I'm afraid, everybody. But it's great to see you, Heath. It's great to see you, Ben. Unfortunately, no Soul Link stream tomorrow. It seems like Lee won't be around, but we'll get those going as swiftly as we can. We have such a fun time doing them. My plan is to stream the Grand Challenge this weekend, or Global Challenge, whichever one it is. Probably on the Sunday. So it'll give me time to build a team, and then, you know, you're still getting a third stream this week. It would just be a Grand Challenge. That's the plan anyway. I'll let you know if that changes, but yeah. Shiny odds, 1 in 8,192 Rufus, double Ledyba. Those are the shiny odds in Generation 2. Pokemon collection room, yeah, true. Good luck with those shelves, Rich. Ben, what are your thoughts on regulations that I, as a seasoned competitive battler? God, it's going great, Heath. Guess you missed most of the stream. Yeah, of course, but I hope work's going okay for you, Ben. I want to turn it into the other kids' room so they have separate bedrooms. Yeah. Gonna have to move the desk and all the gaming equipment somewhere else. Fair enough. I hope it's not too arduous, that move. I'm around dad. Premium Charlie always been premium. Ah, Heath. Well, you're a premium gent yourself. What can I say? And in terms of, I've been timing this to see roughly how long. I think it's around 25 encounters per 5 minutes, or just over actually, which is great. So that means in 20 minutes, you do 100 encounters. In fact, just less than 20 minutes, you do 100 encounters, which really bodes well. I wonder if I locked in, if I could do like 100 per 15 minutes. But yeah, flyby. GC stream hype, local on Sunday. Ah, no worries, man. Depends what time I stream, I guess, but yeah. 1,200, there we go. And no shiny, but you know me, we always do a bonus. Bonus double encounter. They are low odds, Rufus. That's what makes it so special. Don't you'd enjoy it? Pits Observation Kyogre team with a Hisuian Zoroark. Enjoyed it more than Reg G, but that is a hot take. That's a Ledyba, and that's a Pidgey. And I will just triple check this Ledyba. No, I don't think it's shiny. Oh well, that's going to be that. Hisuian Zoroark, that would be good for the Grand Challenge as well. Been better, yeah, of course. Wife and kids are doing well, and I'm very pleased. That's all that matters as well. That's very selfless of you, Rad Dad. And yeah. I hope things improve for you soon, Rad Dad. You've got the right attitude, I'm sure. All right then. Well, everybody, thank you so much. Let's we'll stop the Spotify here. Let's get my theme going again, composed by the very talented Tom Hyam. Absolutely love it. Let me know if that seems very quiet, actually. Let me know if the levels generally. I never have a good read on how the levels are for other people. Anyway, thanks so much for joining, everybody. No shiny tonight, but you know, 1,202. We started tonight's stream 2 hours ago at approaching 600. So we nearly doubled our total encounters in tonight's stream. I will be continuing this hunt off stream. I'll try to record it too so I get the reaction if I get it off stream. Yeah, double hunting Ledyba. Having a great time and some really cool targets on this route, as I say. Thanks so much for hanging out, everybody. Hope you've been enjoying your shiny hunts alongside of your EV training or your yard work or everything that you've been doing. Always a pleasure to hang out with you. Again, as I say, unfortunately no stream tomorrow, but hopefully this weekend we'll be streaming some of the Grand/Global Challenge. And looking forward to seeing you then. Likes and subscribes hugely appreciated, everybody. Please show your support for our friend Ledyba behind me here. And Ledian is back there somewhere there. There we go. Yeah, now you can kind of see both of them in one frame. Kind of covering them both up though. There they are. Yeah, really do go such a long way. Nearly 1,300 subscribers. Check out today's episode of Chazingdra Chats featuring True Green 7 Pokemon art content creator. I had a fascinating chat with Ron. And plenty more episodes of the podcast, of course, on the channel, and plenty more to come, and some very exciting guests yet to be announced. So look forward to that. And so much more content on the channel too. Pokemon comedy skits, joke compilations that I do at the regionals that I cast, the vlogs of events I cast. I'm still working on my EUIC video. I was working on the script for that earlier today. Exciting times for the channel. Become a Merri member to access all kinds of perks. You can click on join to see what those perks are before you actually join. Patreon link below too. Discord community link below as well. Chazindra's Chocolate Factory. Come and hop in there. Be a part of the Merri folk. It would be a pleasure to see you. And with that being said, everybody, I hope to see you this weekend. Let me catch up on these messages. Last minute likes, exactly, Rich. Thank you very much for that reminder. Zorok, Hard Zama Shadow Rider answer. That's true. Willow shuts off Zama while Bittermouse and Nokon to CSR. That's good to know, Ben. Yeah, good ideas. And of course, Rich, you're going to knock over as well. Well, same as me, Rich. Thank you so much. You take care, Rich. Let me just catch up on these. Yeah, exactly. So I'm probably not going to be streaming tomorrow, Rufus, so that I can build my Grand Challenge / Global Challenge team, and I'll hopefully be streaming that this weekend. That's my plan for now, but I'll let you know if that changes. Pleasure to see you in the stream, as always, Rufus. Good night, Jerome. Great to see you. Rad Dad, of course. I'm glad that the stream was helpful for you, Rad Dad, and all the very best to you. I'm sure you've got this. You've got this. Everything will be fine. Solid encounter, exactly. Shiny soon. Let's hope so, Riley. See what I'm looking at. Yeah, that's, as I say, that's like your catchphrase. You have a great rest of your day too, Rad Dad, and see you later. Rich, if shifts start aligning a bit better, we'll be back to catching more streams. Let's hope so, Ben. Will be a pleasure to see you here. See you, Heath. All right, Rufus. Yeah, hope to see you at the weekend. Again, that might change, but that's my plan for now. So, everybody, thanks again once more. Likes and subscribes, hugely appreciated. You have a very merry rest of your day.